I've been telling you for the longest time to not get things early in phase 4, every phase pretty much, and I draw not pleasure in knowing that I have been vindicated once again, but it is time we bring up like a huge core issue with seasonal discovery and an issue that I think over time is really burning people out. And that's the simple fact that over every phase, they have trained us to not try. Every phase, when the phase comes out, that's when you have to do the most things. You have to get your pre-raid vesting slot, you gotta get prepared for the dungeon, you gotta get the new consumables, the new professions, all the stuff you gotta get to do the new raid. Now, we have heard about Molten Core and the new hit mechanic, okay? This is where I'm going with this. Basically, the hit mechanic in Molten Core, the way they explained it, is that you're gonna take more fire damage and you're gonna need fire resistance to do the new harder modes of Molten Core, and that's how you're gonna progress through the raid. The main part that it involved for pretty much everybody was getting the librams or resilience. Librams or resilience are the enchant that you go to BRD, you go do like a whole little turning thingy, and you can get the enchantment for 20 fire resistance to your legs and your helmet. Of course, 40 fire resistance total is like way too good to pass up, and the librams are a rare drop from level 40 something mobs over, so like 48 to 50, something like that, and they are such a rare item that people are paying about 300 gold to get them, plus the other 100 of the coffers from BRD and stuff like that. It takes like 400, 500 bucks just to get the darn enchant on you. Now, after people spent about 800 gold, even more in some cases, just to get the 2 enchants for the helmet and the legs, because a lot of people gotta be a tank in Molten Core and they need the fire resistance cap, for example. We hear about this. Since hit levels and fire resistance are currently a hot topic, players have begun looking for ways to boost this ever important stat. Luckily, Blizzard has stated that they will be giving players more opportunities to get the Lesser Arcanum of Resilience, that's the 25 resistant enchant, once again the 400 gold one, and Burning Essence in Blackrock Depths and Blackrock Spire. Together these items can be turned in to receive the Lesser Arcanum of Resilience, Head and Leg enchant, which adds 20 fire resistance. This goes from one guy complaining in the forums, because I always tell you guys, complain on the forums as much as you want, even if you're not right. If you really want to get your way, complaining in the forums is like the only way of getting Blizzard to do things. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Like, why do I tell people to complain about the Warrior even though I think the Warrior is just fine? Because it works. If molding didn't work, we wouldn't mold. It's as simple as that. Rewarding behavior creates more of that behavior. And Blizzard agrees with these guys. We agree actually. We are sending a hotfix very soon that will add a chance for Librams or Resilience to drop a certain Blackrock Depths and Blackrock Spire bosses, and increase the likelihood you will get Burning Essence from the Dark Coffer in Blackrock Depths. This should make it so these items are a little more available, but still require the same process and ceremony to complete the Arcanum. I want to also take this opportunity to clarify that the fire resistance numbers in the blog post are fully buffed. So that 100 resistance breakpoint for blistering hit 2 only requires you to have 40 unbuffed if you want a shaman, or if you have a shaman or a paladin, so you only need 40 resistance to do hit level 2, that's what they're saying. For many classes, this is a single item, and the new 25 resist cloak enchantment from Hydraction Waterlords. For Molten or Hit 3, you will do, for Molten or Hit level 3, you will need to do a little more preparation, and that is intended, but as alluded in my previous post, Hit 2 should be very approachable for almost anybody. That's me, for example. I am already pushing well over 100 resistance without any buffs, so probably this means I could do Hit level 3, maybe not Ragnaros, we're gonna have to grind a little more for that. My raid is in Saturday, guys. My raid leader doesn't want to do it on launch, and even though that kinda sucks for content, you know, getting the raid 2 days later, for the sake of my peace of mind, that's gonna be a lot easier. But anyways, first of all, I wanna say I think 45 resistance is a pretty reasonable number for hit level 2. If they wanna crank out to hit level 3 just so like the tryhards have something to do for a couple weeks, I think that's awesome. I think everybody's gonna be happy about that. Like, this seems pretty achievable. I think if this is the case, nobody's gonna be doing hit level 0 really. But already, the Libram price, which was about 280 gold, has crashed all the way to 90 gold. And here's a little bit of a conspiracy theory, and you can call me crazy here, but I think this nerfing after people do stuff is completely intentional, okay? I don't think that it is that the will of the people shows and Blizzard has to listen to them. I think Blizzard very intentionally wants to put as much grind on the game as possible at the start, so everybody has something to do in the first week. And after they see a lot of people looking at things, and I think the next on the chopping block is the 0.5 tier set, guys. Like I think like a lot of people are gonna be spending thousands of gold getting that set, like entire weeks of their lives getting that set, and it's gonna be given away at some point. Like how many people? Okay. Let's take it this way. Do you think it's a coincidence that in phase 2 the mount was worth 100 gold and the next 2 weeks later the mount was made 50 gold? Do you think he just changed their mind at that moment? Because yes, no. I think they knew full well on before phase 2 they were gonna have the price of the mount. They just wanted to put more grind at the start. It just makes sense. The tryhards are happy because they are doing a lot of stuff early on, so they are like playing the game all day. And after the casual people, the people that really don't care too much about doing this game 8 hours a day, they look at the things and they're like, yeah, screw that, I'm not gonna do it. And then they nerf it, so they go like, yeah, I'm probably gonna do it now because it's easier. Same goes with, for example, nerfing the requirements of runes in the middle of phase 1. Same goes, for example, with nerfing the reputation requirements of the runes in the incursions. It used to be, I think, honored, and now it's only friendly to get the runes. They arbitrarily, along the phase, when something new comes out, they made it like half as hard to get within 2 or 3 weeks. Now, the big problem that I think with this, even though like conceptually it makes sense, is that people are not stupid. And even if people are stupid, they got me telling them, do not get the 0.5 set. Do not spend thousands of gold getting fire resistance. That's what I told them in my 0.5 set video, in my fire resistance video. And the reason I told them it's probably not worth it is because since players are not stupid, we know that they are just gonna make it easier later. What's the point? Why are you gonna no-life it just for the sake of no-lifing it when you know that in 2 weeks everything is gonna be free anyway? And this creates a huge problem. Because the more people realize that it's pointless to be playing the launch week of the game because everything is going to take half the time it takes later, how are you going to get people to come back? And I say that living in a really strange kind of echo chamber. I don't know if that's a word, but I am in a guild with a lot of streamers, and streamers of course want to get everything done day one, and they are going to go the extra mile because that's what they do. You know, they are like the ultimate sweaters. That's the whole thing. It's fine. And even then are saying, this is pointless. I feel punished for trying. I spent 1,000 gold getting my enchants, and then the guys say they are gonna nerf they're gonna put more librams in the world and like it now like a third of the price. And it's probably gonna keep falling even more. And on the one hand, you know, I get it. I get what you're gonna say. A couple sweaters, they got like their whole week wasted. Boohoo, they do not work anyway. What were they gonna spend the week on anyway? What was the point? But no. This is a big problem. Because even though I am a terrible player and I am a casual in a guild full of sweaters, if it weren't for the sweaters, the guild wouldn't function, the guild wouldn't run, okay? If it weren't for the people that play the game 10 hours a day, the guild would not be run, period. If you think that raiding takes a lot of time, you really don't want to know how long it takes to set up a POG. You really don't want to know how long it takes to set up a raid. You really don't want to know what it takes to do progression on a very hard raid. Because the people that get the bosses on farm, so you can come in and kill them, those are the people that are complete sweater tryhards. And if you start systematically pissing them off, if you start systematically showing to them that their effort is meaningless, there's gonna be a trickle-down effect in the community where the raiding scene is gonna decline in quality and in quantity over time, very dramatically, which is something we can already see. Like tomorrow we're gonna see the population numbers, today maybe if you're looking at this video, but it's gonna be tomorrow to you too because video the next day. You're gonna be seeing the actual population numbers of phase 4. We're gonna be looking at Warcraft logs and like the amount of entries. We're gonna do some math there. But I assure you the size of seasonal discovery has shrunk a lot. And I think a big reason for that is people realize it's freaking pointless. Same as retail. Retail is the exact same problem. You skip a tier, so what? The next tier resets your gear level anyway. You don't want to farm your Azerite, whatever the heck Eon has made for this expansion, I don't even know set. You don't want to farm your loot box thingy to get the item level. Well, in the middle of the tier, they are gonna make it free anyway. Why do you care? And this is one of the problems that you do not see happen instantly. As soon as you implement this change, you really do not see the consequences of this. This is like a slow and steady cancer that grows within people. People's attitudes toward the game do not change overnight. But what I do know is that this is on the long term very damaging to the game, and I feel very concerned that like the entire position has always been consistently the same. It's not that will they nerf the price of epic mounts. Guys, do not buy an epic mount, okay? It's 1,000 gold, it's gonna be 500 gold in like 2 weeks, okay? Happened in phase 2. I am not paying full price for it again, screw them. Just a little side note, if you really believe that the grind is too bad and is pushing players away, maybe it shouldn't be in the game from the first day. Maybe you shouldn't wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks to remove it. I don't know, just a wild thought on my head right now. But yeah, even though I am not affected by this, I feel that this is really insulting to the people that tried. Like, this is gonna be so awful for them. Because you take guy number 1 that saved the Apollo phase 3 to buy the enchantments on phase 4, and he buys the enchantments for 1,000 gold, and then comes little Timmy that just came in phase 4, not his fault by the way, not trying to hate on little Timmy, we love little Timmy, but little Timmy comes in and he pays for the librams like less than a third of the price anyway, just because they did this in the middle of the launch. Now little Timmy, to no fault of his own, is richer than little tryhard Johnny that spent like a week farming gold to pay the enchants. That's just a kick in the butt. Subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.